Hi guys, this is JC with MI5. I just figured I'd weigh in real quick on this Momo challenge situation that everybody seems to be freaking out about and kind of set the record straight. So last night I got a phone call from my wife that basically says, hey, we need to talk, we got an issue with the kids. So I told her, okay, when I get home we'll take care of it. When I got home, there's all this hype about this Momo challenge. And basically, what got reported back to us was that the kids were seeing this at school through YouTube, and they were using a program called iReady, and apparently it was supposedly giving them, it was connecting back to YouTube, and this stuff was embedded in it. So first off, I've reached out to iReady, I've reached out to YouTube. One of the other rumors that we had was that YouTube accounts were being hacked, videos being stolen, this Momo challenge stuff being stitched into it, and then being reposted back to the user's channel. That rumor, I can tell you, definitely is baloney. That has not happened. There's no evidence of that. I've reached out to YouTube and I've done some research on my own, and can definitely say that that is not happening. What is happening, the iReady thing is not happening either. The kids are not being exposed to it at school. I've talked to the school, and they, as of yesterday, being Wednesday, they said that they have blocked YouTube altogether. YouTube Kids, YouTube everything. No YouTube at all is allowed to be piped into the school. So the other side is that iReady doesn't even have a YouTube component. And talking to them, there's absolutely no reason to think that your kids are being exposed to this at school, except for kids talking to other kids about the Momo challenge, drawing pictures, that kind of thing. But they're not accessing it at school. So I do want to say kudos to the Corinth School District for jumping on that very quickly and getting the internet blocked. Lastly, one of the things that I want to make sure that we cover is what is the problem and how to solve it. So number one, the biggest influence on this is through Facebook and WhatsApp. So you're communicating back and forth with Momo, and Momo's telling you to do some crazy stuff. And I'm not going to get into all that. There's plenty of videos out there on how it works. You can read an article to find out what it's all about. That's not the purpose of this video. I'm not here to promote it. I'm here to explain what the real risk is and to make sure that we negate that risk by making sure that we're well informed as parents and making sure we inform our children as well so they understand how it works. So, into that note, I want to try to keep this video short. So, what's going on is you go to a channel that you know and trust on YouTube Kids. And if you notice, anytime you're watching a video, down in the bottom right hand corner, YouTube always has a suggested or recommended video that's going to be next. And while the content that you originally pulled up is absolutely fine, there's nothing wrong with it, perfectly trustworthy, when down here in the bottom right it comes up and says, hey, we suggested a video, sometimes they get pointed to somebody who has posted content that's not appropriate, and it hasn't been flagged by YouTube yet. So your player plays this content and it starts out as, you know, Little Piggy or Fortnite or whatever kid content your kid is watching, and then stitched in as the Momo stuff or other types of nefarious content that you don't want your kids seeing. So at that point, everybody freaks out and says, oh, my favorite YouTuber's been hacked. No, that's not what's happening. You're being redirected to somebody that just hasn't been caught yet. So number one, if you see it, flag it. If you don't flag it, then you got no right to complain. Number two is making sure you're actively watching what your kids are watching. YouTube does have a feature that allows you to actually select a queue and a playlist. So you can go through and pick the videos that you want your kid to watch so they can continue to watch it. Now, as for me and my family, I've just decided to block YouTube altogether for my family, just to be on the safe side for now, until this Momo thing kind of blows over in a few days. And then we're going to come back and we're going to take advantage of things like Q and go through and audit what YouTubers we trust and what YouTubers we don't. But we're putting a squash on it for the next 72 hours just to make sure that there's not something that has slipped through the cracks while we evaluate what our kids are subscribed to on YouTube Kids. Please keep in mind that YouTube really is not, it's not designed from the beginning to be for children. It was originally an adult content site, and I don't mean like adult like Bound Chicka Wow Wow. I mean adult as in it's designed for your conspiracy theories and your business videos and things of that nature. It was never intended originally as a platform for children. So the YouTube Kids is still a very new technology. When you guys stop and think, really, the internet's only been heavily used for the last roughly 22 years or so. Before that, it wasn't as publicly accessible as it was today. So keep in mind that if you're going to put your kids online, this is in the history of the world. This is a very, very new technology. It's barely to the adult stage, so it still has to be watched like a kid. The other thing is that something like YouTube is even less old. I mean, it's a brand spanking new and emerging technology. Even the automobile's been around for over 120 years. So you can't expect this stuff to be perfect right out of the gate. With that being said, YouTube does have a responsibility to continue watching their content, monitoring their content, and saying, hey, you know, what can we do to make these kids safer? Because if it's not safe, I won't put my kids on it. But parents definitely, especially with as new as this technology is, parents have got to take an active role and even watch the videos before they let their kids watch them, and make sure they trust the content providers and create a playlist specific for your kid to watch. That way you know what they're watching. Is that a perfect solution? No, it's not. There's always a chance that somebody can put in inappropriate content in their videos that you don't want your kids seeing. But it's the best that's available at the moment. There is no software that's going to catch this stuff available yet. It just doesn't exist. So as you're going through this, think of what's a way that I can control the content rather than relying on YouTube to police your children for you. YouTube Kids is a great product for what it is, but it's a brand new product, and it is not something that is, it's not something that's been perfected yet. So try to take it from a standpoint of what can I do to control the content going through my house. And when you do see stuff that's inappropriate, flag it. YouTube is very good about taking down content that's not appropriate or that's copywritten, that kind of thing. So this is actually the first of a series of videos that I intend to put out. We're going to talk about everyday security, specifically in the digital arena. Things like credit cards and checks, bank accounts, what works, what doesn't, what new technologies are out there and available. Real quick, I've got a quick minute and a half left, and then I want to shut this tape off because I'm trying to keep it around 10 minutes. But one of the things that what I do for a living is actually PCI DSS and HIPAA compliance. So that is my forte in life. Is I understand how these payments and how the things that affect us in everyday life work. But I'm not going to come at this from a technical aspect because let's face it, most of the audience doesn't care what firewalls are used and that kind of thing. Instead, I'm going to come at this from an everyday life perspective of what can I do to keep my credit card safe? What can I as a business owner do to keep my customers safe? And we're going to steer as much as we can away from the technical side of it and take it more from a personal side and a responsibility aspect. Because again, these are newer technologies, and there's newer technologies emerging all the time. So stand by. Very soon is going to be my digital life and how to protect myself from a common sense standpoint, more so than buy big expensive firewalls. For those who do want the big expensive firewalls because you have a business, there's contact information available on our profile, so feel free to hit us up. But for now, thank you for watching, and please share this with your friends, and so that they can kind of understand this Momo challenge thing a little bit better. Y'all have a great day. Until next time.